Hello, hello. Beautiful Earth Angels, welcome. Welcome to Earth Angels Unite. So happy to be here. Podcast 145, The Alchemist Path. Stop doing it alone. Many empaths, Earth Angels, cycle breakers are exhausted by carrying everything by themselves. True transformation unfolds when we allow ourselves to receive support rather than holding it all alone. Angelic guidance, aligned community, spiritual structure create containment that deepens healing and restores balance. Receiving is not weakness, but an act of trust and devotion. When support is welcomed, the energy body stabilizes and expands, allowing you to receive more love. Alchemy accelerates when the path is shared. And I just love that. So my intention with these podcasts is to create a space of transformation, that you come one person and you leave transformed, that you leave another person. So I see this offering as a soft place to land for those highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls, to be held by, really to be held by your own soul, to be held by your angels. I pray that you're held also by the teaching, by my vulnerability and visibility. And my ultimate goal is to add value to your life. So thank you for being here. My name is Jill Kempner, angel coach, author, alchemist, author of Receiving from Your Angels, 4 Practices to Heal Your Pain with Angel Love. And I'm here sharing teachings, activations, oracle cards to help you. To help you to activate the inner alchemist, to help you to relax and cherish your body, to help you to receive and trust your intuition, receive your next level of angelic pain relief. As an angel coach, what I help my clients do is to heal the pain in their bodies. Pain is a portal, with the love of the angels through the relax, release, receive process. So I'm devoted to the relax, release, receive process. Hi, Ginger. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I'm devoted to that process because it works. I'm devoted to that process because I'm healing myself. I'm healing trauma and PTSD. I'm healing deep grief from the loss of my family. So I'm so glad I have a spiritual structure to support that. And I'm one of those people, I don't want to keep it. Why am I going to keep it all to myself? I'm going to share it with you, right? And so it's become my life's mission, my heart's desire, my prayer to help as many people as possible with my light, with my downloads, with my presence. Let me see what else. So yeah, I'm so grateful for everyone who's here live, everyone who's connecting with the replay. We're all here together. And what I feel like 2026 is about frequency, simplicity and frequency. So my goal with these is to create this like powerful angelic frequency that you, again, is a soft place to land and to be seen, heard, and held by your team, by your soul, by the divine. Okay. Diving into the story and teaching today. So today we're talking about the alchemist path. We've been talking about the alchemist path. I'm going to keep talking about it. Today it's about stop doing it alone. So there was a time in my life when I felt deeply lonely and isolated. And when I look back, it wasn't during my obvious reasons for loss or crisis. It was during my pregnancy and the first year that my daughter was born. I was the first in my friend group to get married and the first to have a child. While everyone else was out late, socializing, traveling, living their mid-20s freely, I was at home alone, pregnant. Physically, I was healthy. Emotionally, I was struggling in ways that I didn't have language for. After my daughter was born, that first year held so much joy and gratitude, magic, and at the same time, an enormous amount of unprocessed emotions. I like to say, and it was interesting because I was talking with an IET student yesterday who reminded me of what I told her. And I was like, oh yeah, like my root chakra opened, right? My root chakra opened, I gave birth, and then everything that was in the root chakra, right? All the fear, all the unprocessed trauma, all the like ancestral stuff that I had been carrying unprocessed came up to be looked at. I didn't know how to look at it. I didn't know how to name it. A few weeks before her first birthday, I landed in the psych hospital, which I've talked about many, many times. This is actually going to be my 20-year anniversary of that this year, 2026. Excuse me. And later learned that what I was experiencing was undiagnosed PTSD. The trauma wasn't new, it was old. And it was accumulated pain of the childhood abuse, neglect, my father's murder, and years of hypervigilance that had never been processed. So the time after the hospital felt lonely too, right? That as I moved through what I now recognize was a dark night of the soul. My personal dark night of the soul was coming face to face with the heavy emotions, shame, grief, self-judgment, layers of trauma that I had spent my life surviving rather than feeling. I felt isolated. I felt like I was in the dark, hence dark night of the soul. And I felt like no one could really see me. And now looking back, I can see something that I couldn't see then, right? I wasn't being punished. I wasn't broken. I was planted. That darkness was a womb. It was the fertile soil where my soul began to open. And if you think about spring and the bulbs and the seeds and the energy that it takes to push, it's a lot of energy to come right up and out of that. So it was the beginning, maybe a lot of times I call it my opening, of my relationship with my inner world, my spiritual life, my angels, and eventually my sacred community, which is now what I'm being called finally after all these years. I mean, I feel like I have had a sacred community of, my students, the IET students and the Angel Reiki students. And I love you all so much. Every single one of you are in my heart. You always will be, for giving me access to your energy, for giving me the ability to share my medicine and my gifts. I don't take that lightly, and I take it lightly, both. Today I have to have a lot of lightheartedness, the angel said in my reading. So, God, I wrote this yesterday and I didn't feel emotional. And now when I'm reading it, it's like, oh, we're sharing it, transmitting it. So I wish I hadn't suffered so much during that time. And I also have immense gratitude, infinite gratitude for the version of me who walked through it. Without the tools I now have and teach, oftentimes she didn't feel loved. She felt alone. She felt isolated. And yet she kept going. I love her deeply. I honor her. This is talking about my past self. She made it possible for me to be the mother I wanted to be, the human I wanted to be, the healer I am today. So I send her love and blessings. And I invite you, however this is touching your heart or opening your heart or tapping into your soul or your consciousness, just send love back to your past self. Maybe there's a particular moment that's coming to your mind as I'm talking that was so painful. Maybe there's just a series of events. Know that your angels, through your intention, can go back and bless your past self. And I'm actually doing that right now as we're talking. So when I talk about the alchemist path and the invitation to stop doing it alone, I'm not shaming resilience. I'm not dismissing strength. There's no judgment. I'm speaking a deeper truth. And something I learned the hard way, right? The biggest thing I learned from my dark night of the soul is I needed to take better care of myself. And I couldn't do it alone. So I built a team of people. It's so funny. I had a massage client years ago. I loved her so much. One of the things that she would say, and I understood it, she goes, "You're putting me back together." And I think she meant it in the most soulful, loving way. It wasn't necessarily putting her back together because she was broken and shattered. It was just putting her back together, helping her feel whole, fluid, flowing, centered, relaxed, right? Relaxed. So I found a team that I still say, right? My Earth Angel team that puts me back together. And so I would be personally honored to be on your team, being one of your team of healers, helping to put you back together. Also know that I offer spiritual mentorship, right? I'm helping a lot of people who have pain, whether it's physical or emotional pain, but I also have spiritual mentorship programs and customized programs that can meet you where you're at. So I do have a free consult. It's called the Angelic Pain Relief Consult that I offer to these beautiful souls, really the souls that I'm here to serve, right? I pray that my energy is magnetic to those I'm here to serve. And that already happened finally through my podcast. I actually got a client who's across the country. And she goes, "I watched your podcast and you were speaking to me." And she hired me. And I thought, OMG, it finally worked, right? And it took a lot of transmissions. So I'm hoping this year will be a little easier around that. I'm setting that intention. But if you're interested in hearing about possibly hiring me as your coach and hearing about my 6-month angel coaching program, I invite you to this consult. It's over Zoom. It's about an hour. And it's a sacred, heartfelt space where I'm listening to you and your angels. I'm sharing what your angels are saying about your pain and the angelic perspective of your pain. In that consult, I'm helping you get clear on the fuel that will heal that pain. We pull an archangel that's going to support you. And then if we're a good fit, I'll share the details of my coaching program with you. I have 4 consults. Well, now I only have 1 available this month, 4 a month. So 1 a week about. So right now I have 4 consults open each month. That may change as we get later in the year and my coaching practice fills to capacity. But right now I do have some openings. So I'd love to connect with you in that way. Let me take a sip of water. Okay. So healing requires support. Transformation requires connection. Alchemy happens in relationship, not isolation. I remember something a friend said to me at the time when I was trying to literally do it all on my own, and I'll never forget it. She meant it in a heart. I felt her soul. She said, "No man is an island, Jill." And it stayed with me ever since. in the psych hospital, I don't remember much of it. I actually slept for 5 days because I hadn't been sleeping, which was part of the psychotic break. But one of the nurses, when I was in, you're in recovery, you're going to therapy, you're taking medication in the psych hospital. She said to me, the most important thing is for you to be honest with yourself. And I always remember that, and she never said it again. She didn't repeat it a bunch of times. There's another funny thing that happened, but I'll save that for another time. So she's my friend. I don't know if my friend said no man is an island to me before I went to the hospital. I think it was, because I remember her being here, and it was a weird visit because I had already been kind of slipping in and out of different realms. And anyway, moving forward, so alchemy happens in relationship, not isolation. And we can talk about that from so many, the relationship between you, your humanity and your divinity, your humanness and your soul, the relationship between you and the angels, the relationship between you and the divine. Those are the first and foremost most relationships. In 2026, those are, in order for us to move forward into this next epicycle with more soulfulness, with more grace, with more self-love, we have to focus on ourselves first. So the biggest message of 2026 in the universal wand for my people is you first. So put it in the comments if that resonates with you. Ginger, I'm so glad you're here. Katie, namaste. Katie Bew. Okay, so to stop doing it alone, I'm going to give you sort of the how, pretty soon. So here's what came to me, because I'm thinking, okay, this is truth. This is my heart. This is what I feel. And then I was like, well, how do we stop doing it alone? Right? How do we break free from the lone wolf, from the isolation, from the feeling like nobody gets us, nobody sees us, nobody understands, and I went through so many of those lonely times, that, gosh, and it's interesting because I never, until this theme came, I never thought, I didn't realize how lonely I was in that pregnancy and the first year of her life. But I had to break. How I got to the other side was I broke. For me, the break was the psych hospital and the dark night of the soul. One of my missions, soul missions, is to help prevent that for you. Like literally, I'm a preventative medicine person. Now, bottom line is most people are coming to me already after the break, right? I'd love to start helping people before the break to prevent it, right? That's what alternative medicine, preventative medicine. So I really believe the work I do is preventative medicine. But most people are coming still kind of looking at alternative medicine as the last ditch effort, right? Or some people are like, oh, it's complementary with the work I'm doing with my doctors or my body workers. And I'd love to see more of that equality, right? And again, be someone on your team, right? You still have a therapist, you still have a body worker, and yeah, you have an angel coach if you so desire. Okay. Thank you. All the downloads are coming through. Okay. So to stop doing it alone, we first have to feel worthy of help, worthy of love, worthy of support. So worthiness is essential. And no wonder I wasn't asking for help back then. I didn't feel worthy. That was one of the biggest wounds that I have lovingly overcome over 2 decades, right? Is shame. I'm not saying I'm fully done with it, but I am mostly on the other side of that pattern that my mom was plagued with. I really feel my whole family was. So there's 3 things we need. The second thing we need is vulnerability. to stop doing it alone, because we must be willing to look at the pain and allow it to move through. The third thing we need, maybe you're going to guess it, is devotion. The kind of devotion that says no fear, no darkness, no old pattern will pull me away from my commitment to my healing. Okay, so we're gonna stop doing it alone. I'm on a mission to help you stop doing it alone. That's why I created the Alchemist membership this year. I'll talk about that at the end today. And here's what we need. For me, the qualities of the Alchemist I'm here to awaken within you to help you stop doing it alone are worthiness, vulnerability, and devotion. These are the earth angels I serve. These are the cycle breakers I support. These are the alchemists I awaken. So now we'll get a little bit into how. I'm going to take a sip. So how do we stop doing it alone? Well, we need soul strength to be vulnerable. We need a willingness to be guided and held by sacred structure, which to me is the relax. I'm not going to, what's sacred structure? What's spiritual structure? Relax, release, receive process. Literally, I wrote an entire book on how to heal your pain with angel love. You could follow this manual for $20 and heal yourself. I have had people, this like warms my heart so much. I read your book and I healed this pain. I felt seen. I felt loved. I felt heard. I feel my angels now because of your book. Like, that is everything to me. So I have a step-by-step manual here. These podcasts, these transmissions, the Alchemist everything is based on my book. And I just find new and different ways to say what was written here. So I hope that resonates. So the sacred structure that I'm talking about is the relax, release, receive process. It's the alchemy formula. Invitation, intention, R to the third equals alchemy. Now I'm going to enter, another equation is entering, and I know I was like, equations, math, algebra, why are you doing this to me, angels? But take it lightly. Hey, say hi if you're here. I love you all. Appreciate you. Okay. So, and we need devotion to finding and aligning with the community, not as an accessory to healing, but as part of it. We heal. What is the statement? When two or more are gathered, there I am. So we awaken the I am presence, the presence of our soul, the presence of the divine, the presence of the light within us. So if you're in a community with all these other lights doing their healing, and we're all at different layers in the spiritual mountain, we're encouraged by each other. We're supported by each other. The sacred community aspect of the Alchemist and Alchemist membership and all of that is something I'm going to be talking more about because I'm so excited about it, right? And then, of course, it's all to help you hear your soul, hear your angels, hear the divine, so that you stay on your highest timeline. Thank you, angels. So many downloads. Okay, so here's the message I received. I was in a client session, and the message in that moment was for her. And then as I reflected on it and how it linked up with my word of the year, I realized, oh, this is for me. When I started to apply it, I realized, oh, this is for my people. I'm going to share it here. So the guidance I keep receiving again and again is slow, simple, soft. going to break that down a little bit today. I'm going to keep talking about it all year, probably beyond this year. Slow down, right? If you want to hear your soul, you have to slow down. And if you want to hear your angels, you have to slow down. I'm not telling you to stop drinking caffeine yet, but I'm inviting you into relaxation, right? So the slow is the relaxation. It's slowing your breath. It's slowing your thoughts. It's slowing the urgency and the pressure of the ego. It's coming back into your body so you can hear your soul and your angels. One thing my teacher always said, Kyle Gray, if you want to hear your angels, you have to hear yourself first. So that's part of the slowing down. Simple is presence. Okay? It's doing one thing at a time with care, with intention, with presence. It's releasing overthinking and complication and confusion, right? The ego complicates. The soul simplifies. The soul is simple. Spirit is simple. And then soft. The softness has layers. The softness is where the releasing and the receiving happen. Understand that releasing and receiving happen simultaneously. We release to receive, right? We dump out to fill up. And we receive, we fill up to release. Phew, ooh, look at that release. That was beautiful. So let's see which one resonates with you. For me, I mean, you just saw a clear sentient body move. That's what the angels keep telling me. I've got to increase my ability to receive, increase my capacity to receive so that I can be the leader of the Alchemist right now. It's part of what I'm stepping into. So when you slow down and simplify, your nervous system softens. You become tender, honest, vulnerable. In that softness, pain releases. Fear loosens. Trauma begins to unwind. And in that softness, we receive. Grace enters, love enters, healing arrives. Let me know if that resonates with you. So the invitation is to stop doing it alone isn't a demand, because that's not how spirit speaks. That's not how I speak. It's an act of compassion, of self-love, of sacred commitment. It's meeting yourself exactly where you are and allowing yourself to be supported. One of the things I love, one thing a client said to me, actually, he had done a video for me at the time when he was my client. And he said something that really resonated with me. And it still has stayed with me. Jill meets you where you're at. And I thought, wow, I do that? I didn't even know I was doing that. Like I wasn't even putting that on my quality list or whatever, list of my qualities. And then I realized, because the angels meet you where you're at, right? They don't want you. They don't need you to change. They don't need you to stop smoking. They don't need you to stop doing all the things. They don't need you to lose weight. They don't need you to, be more positive. That's a longer story, but to love you unconditionally, right? They love you unconditionally right now. Without end, without condition, and in every condition. And that's why I love working with them and why I'm devoted. So we're going to do an inner journey. I'm going to pull a card first. Because I feel like the card is part of the question. The card is part of the guiding energy. Because the question we're going to ask in the inner journey is, It was really good too. And apparently I did not take it from there to there. So we're going to pull a card. So just take some cleansing breaths because we're going to tune in. Sometimes when I'm doing, like I'm channeling, I get a download and then I get another download, and I sometimes forget to, whatchamacallit, ground it. Yeah, I started doing this whole crazy long channeling about something else. I do crack myself up sometimes. Okay, I found it. The question, thank you. Because it was such a good question. Beautiful angels, where in my life right now are you inviting me to slow down, simplify, and soften so I can receive the sacred support I need, right? To whatever, to heal this pain. Get specific. All right, so I'm obsessed with this deck. You can only get it on Etsy. It's called the Guardian Angel Deck by Britta Bauman. It's 68 angel cards. And it says a guidebook, but there's no guidebook. It's just the image, the picture, and the prayer. Okay. So we're going to ask that question. Then we're going to go do a little inner journey. We're going to have some guardian angel support. Beautiful angels, where in my life right now are you inviting me, and that's all of us, the collective, everyone who's connecting with this transmission, to slow down, simplify, and soften so we can receive the sacred support needed. What's the guardian angel message for this week, full moon week? Powerful. Your actions reverberate throughout the cosmos. Every intuitive action you take directly impacts the collective vibration of light. Ooh, I have chills. You are not insignificant. Quite the opposite. So we think slow, simple, soft. Slow, simple, soft is not weak. Slow, simple, soft is powerful. Look at her. Vibrating light, reverberating light. This is you, reverberating light. So this color reminds me of Haniel. So let's bring her in. Haniel and Raguel. Okay, close your eyes. Take some cleansing breaths and just be here now. Soften into the now. Inhale gently through the nose and exhale through the mouth, letting your shoulders drop, letting your shoulders soften. Inhaling and exhaling and feeling your breath anchor you into your body, into your heart, and deep into the earth. Send roots of light. Activate your energetic roots. Send them deep into the earth, all the way through the crystals to the heart of Pachamama. And then feel the connection with all the other light workers, all the other earth angels. It's a very light, supportive, empowering, powerful connection. No absorbing. And now we invite the angels. So we bring the pearlescent white light of your guardian angels and the iridescent blue light of Haniel. And all the angels of power. So Uriel, Michael, Raziel. Just feel them all here. I'm especially feeling Haniel. She's the empath protector. She's the angel of sensitivity, the angel of emotional relaxation, which I feel like we all need a dose of right now. So feel her presence surrounding you and radiating to you, Ginger, Katie, all the earth angels who are here live, the exact medicine you need. Take that in. Release the effortness. You don't need to effort. Release efforting, release urgency. Ooh, there we go. Release pushing. And simply allow their presence. With the next Few breaths, just relax your body. Soften your forehead and jaw. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your belly, your hips. Allowing your body to feel safe. So more of your soul can sit in your body. Bring your awareness to your heart, the gateway of your angel's love. And one time say, I'm devoted to receiving love and simplicity from my angels. Or maybe it's softness, or maybe it's slowness, whatever your soul says. Feel the breath moving in and out of the heart center, creating openness. And then we're going to ask and then receive intuitively the answer. Beautiful angels, where in my life right now are you inviting me to slow down, to simplify, and to soften so I can receive the sacred support I need? Let the answer come gently. You may receive a word, an image, a feeling, a quiet knowing. However it arrives is perfect. And again, beautiful angels, where in my life? So just notice there may be a relationship, there may be a particular aspect of your, maybe it's work or home, maybe it's, right? It could be personal, it could be business, it could be family. Where in my life are you inviting me to slow down, simplify, and soften so I can receive sacred support, so I can step into my power? So I feel that getting your power back. As you receive, imagine releasing any heaviness. Oh, there you go. Any pressure you've been carrying. With each exhale, let go of urgency, let go of self-judgment, let go of fear. With each inhale, receive clarity, reassurance, and love. And the angels reminding you to receive more than you've ever received before in this sacred moment in time with this community of earth angels. Rest here for a few breaths, listening and receiving. Rest into your power. So inhale, call all of your power parts and energy back to your heart, back to your core. Exhale, relax, and let the power, the parts and the energy settle into the body. 2 more times. Inhale, call all of your power, parts, and energy back to your heart, back to your core. Exhale, relax, and let your power, parts, and energy settle in. 1 more time. Inhale, call back your power, your parts, and your energy. Back to your heart, back to your core, back to the body. Exhale, relax, and let the power settle in. This is power to heal, power to connect, power to heal, power to support, not power over. So when you're ready, we'll take a final breath. We'll bow to each other, dedicating the healing that you received today to all our relations in all directions of time. Feeling your angels here bowing to you with love and devotion and deep, deep, deep compassion. As we seal this inner journey with a namaste. Namaste, my friends. Whew, I love that so much. Angels are the best. So I have a lot of missions, as you can see. And I think this is the year where I'm like clarifying it, simplifying it, like owning it, like vibrating it. And so where I am today was forged through hardship. And I've been sharing about it in many, many podcasts. And what I know now is that we do not have to stay hard to survive. We don't have to be tough, push through, and suffer our way into healing. There's another way. That way is to slow down, simplify, and soften. So hopefully you got some answers today. If you want to share them here, for me, it's a few relationships. I was guided in the meditation, one relationship in particular, and then just overall in general around my business, just a next level of that was the message I received, and very on point. that is the path that brought me here. Yeah, so the slow down, simplify, and soften, the relax, release, receive process is the path that brought me here and the path I'm devoted to now. So that's why I created the Angelic Alchemist membership and why I'm inviting that first wave of founding members to step forward. If you're here listening to this, I trust you're my people. Highly sensitive, highly intuitive, empaths, earth angels who feel called to make a difference in the world. And know that that difference starts with you. Know that we begin within. And you're ready to understand that your deepest pain can be turned into peace, can be turned into a gem that makes you shiny, right? Glowing from the inside out, the glow up. So you don't change the world by abandoning yourself. We already did that. It didn't work. You change it through your own healing, alignment, and devotion to your soul's truth, your soul's mission. So the Angelic Alchemist is a sacred community. It's a year-long membership with 12 monthly healing activations and nothing else. Clean, simple, but powerful, right? Powerful. If you're ready to step into your power, if you're ready to activate your inner alchemist, if you're ready to get the gems of your journey, this is the membership for you. I intentionally kept the cost down, low investment, high impact. That's purposeful. It's an intentional. And trust me, it's worth 10 times, 20 times what I'm offering it for. So selling my medicine, I just want a lot of people to say yes. I want it to be an easy yes. Like, oh, yes. Hang out with Jill and other earth angels and the archangels? Yes. So my prayer is that this offering is, and I say this with love, holy heck yes. Holy heaven yes. Forget hell. Holy heaven yes. This is your holy heck yes. Those are the first wave. Those are the founding members I'm calling. So the Angelic Alchemist membership is a sacred community for those who are ready to invite that holy support, the support of your soul, of your angels, the support of conscious community. This is not about becoming something you're not. This is, you are already light. This is about receiving the support so you can live, love, and serve from truth, ease, grace, effortlessness, clarity, from a healed, alchemized place. So the bells are ringing, the chimes are sounding, school is in session. If your heart is stirring, and if your heart is stirring, if something in you is saying yes, I invite you to Alchemist and begin receiving the gems of your journey in a held, supported, and deeply sacred way. So I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to be back next week and the whole month of February with weekly transmissions at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. So I'm hoping that more people are going to join live. I'm going to do something really fun on the fourth Tuesday. So the last week of the month is my week off from clients, where sometimes I'll seek counsel. So I'll have a raise your vibe call, but it's a lighter week of output for me so that I can do extra self-care, get into that receptive state. Of course, I have doctor's appointments, all the things. And I've hemmed and hawed about having a podcast at all, because as you can see, this is output, this is transmission, right? And I spend time the day before preparing for it, and then I do this. So I'm just always trying to be mindful of wanting to serve at my highest level, but also making sure I'm filled up. So for the next couple months, I'm going to do something fun. And it's going to be called, right now I'm calling it freestyle, what I call it, freestyle frequency channeling, where I'm not going to have a topic. This is still, it's not fully formed, but I just feel like naming it here because then I like hold myself accountable. And I'm going to just have no topic. It's going to be an open forum, and I'm hoping people will come and like ask questions. So I'm going to pull like an oracle card for people who are there and channel a message, or I'm going to come in and just channel. You know, maybe it's based on something that's happening in the world or astrology or my own inner world. I don't know. The whole point is that it's freestyle, no plan. So that's what I'm calling it, freestyle frequency channeling. It might have a different name as we go on. And then some final, some last weeks of the year I'm taking off. Some last weeks of the year I'll have a guest interview. So I'm excited to do something different this year with this offering. And yeah, I send this replay in my newsletter. So if you're not on my website, if you're not on my newsletter, go to my website, jillkempnerhealing.com. I'll include the consult form if you want to step in at that level with me of support. I'll include the Angelic Alchemist membership link, and then also my website so you can get on my newsletter. I love you all. Thank you. Be your beautiful. What's the message? Slow, simple, soft helps you activate your power. Bye.